So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now in this video you're going to see several clips of the recent trophies I've taken during my Great One Moose grind playing in the background whilst I discuss what has been going on with my Great One Moose grind. Now you're going to see clips from several different maps, and that is because I have been really indecisive about what map I actually want to continue on at this point in time. I have been on Medved for a little while now, and I've been swapping back and forth between New England and Medved, and then I even ended up going over to Revontuli and then over to Leighton even, just trying to find a map that felt a little bit better than Medved, because I had such terrible luck on Medved recently. I actually ended up having 3 level 1 bull moose in one single run, and then I think it was 4 trolls in a row, and it just felt like I'm really not getting anywhere on Medved. So then I ended up over on New England Mountains, as you guys will have seen if you saw some of my previous videos, and it went well in terms of trophies, but it just was a lot slower. It wasn't as efficient in terms of getting numbers down. I then ended up going over to Revontuli and taking a look. Revontuli seemed pretty promising to start off with, but the issue I've had with Revontuli is that my respawns are really inconsistent, and it seems like my moose are just disappearing every time I end up shooting them. It just almost feels like that they aren't respawning properly, and I have checked like the entire map, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. I then decided to go and take a look at Leighton Lakes, which is something that I didn't think I was going to do. Leighton was like my last choice in terms of looking at all the different maps that moose are on, and it was really strange. It was only because of looking in the Hunter official Discord and seeing that one of the other members of the Discord had recently had 2 Great One Moose on Leighton Lakes that I actually decided to go and take a look, because everyone had been saying, oh, Leighton will just be awful, moose are still pretty much spread everywhere, and I didn't really like the sound of that. But after viewing some hotspot maps and just listening to this one person's account of their grind, I then decided, okay, maybe it's not as bad and they aren't spread out as much as I thought they'd be, so I went and took a look. And yeah, moose aren't spread out as much on Leighton as I thought they would be. It's actually quite condensed over on the left-hand side of the map. But again, it kind of feels like as I'm shooting that I'm not getting as many respawns back, and it feels like where I did have herds to start off with that I was shooting at, and taking bulls out of those herds, that I'm not necessarily getting respawns back into those herds, and that's a little bit discouraging. So I'm on the fence with Leighton at the moment. It seems kind of good for efficiency, but if I'm not getting the respawns as well, and properly as I would be on another map, then maybe it's not quite as good. I've then ended up back over on New England Mountains, and honestly, I'm just really indecisive about where I want to continue this grind going forward. I am 5.6 thousand kills in, approximately, and it's just at that point where I'm like, okay, I really don't feel like I'm getting anywhere with Medved, so should I be on a different map? But then there's another part of me that thinks, oh, maybe I should just continue over on Medved because it is the most efficient, and hopefully my luck will change. And I really am very indecisive about what I want to do at the moment. So this is kind of what I wanted to just talk about in this video, because if I end up getting a great one randomly on another map like Leighton, I didn't want it to be a huge surprise, because it would look a little bit odd if I say I've been grinding over on one specific map and then suddenly I only do a few kills on another map and then end up getting a great one. But that's how it's been for some people, and that's the whole reason why I end up being indecisive, was because I've heard people say they did so many thousand kills on, say, Medved, and then they switched over to Revontuli and got it within 100 kills. And so because of that, I'm so indecisive, and it's just the constant thought of, oh, what if I move to this next map and then I only do a few hundred kills and then finally one spawns? Because it is, a little bit desperate at this point. I really would like to try and get one of these, and, the numbers are really racking up, and obviously the time that I've put into this is over a month now of real life days, just trying desperately to get one of these things to spawn. So I'm crossing all my fingers that something I do works. I may even end up going to check out Yukon, which honestly I'm not looking forward to, in terms of the fact that I worry about the efficiency just because of the river. The river on Yukon could be a really big issue, but I may end up going and just checking Yukon out, doing a few kills like I have on Leighton and everything, and just seeing what it's like, just to put into my mind that at least I've then tried that map, because I think that's something that's working for me, is going through each map and getting it set up and then knowing that I've tried it and I can always go back to it if I've put tents and stuff up and, you know, continue then if I need to. So that's something that's been working. But I'm really hoping that eventually I'll be able to just go, okay, we're just going to stick with Medved or stick with New England and just be able to grind until hopefully one of these things spawns. I do end up feeling like I'm probably going to end up going back to Medved probably, and then maybe do like one run on another map every now and again just to see if I end up getting lucky. But at the moment, I'm just so indecisive that I'm between all the different maps that have moose on, basically, except Yukon. Yukon's the only one where I've only taken a very brief look. I haven't shot anything. I took a look at, like, one lake. So, yeah, it will be interesting to see if I end up going over to Yukon as well. But not as many trophies in the last few days. Some nice ones over on Medved, including a level 4 albino bull, which was really, really cool to actually get. Massive highlight to actually get that. First albino bull of the grind, and it ends up being a nice size gold, so I was super happy about that. But in terms of everything else, I haven't had a whole lot of other trophies. I've had a lot of trolls, not so many diamonds, and not so many other, like, good size rares or anything. So, yeah, that's been a little bit unfortunate, but so many trolls, like I said, on Medved, and getting them back to back. I noticed 3 level 5s, like, really close back to back that ended up being trolls, so that was really unfortunate. It was interesting to me that I ended up getting a guaranteed diamond level 5 as an initial spawn over on Leighton, and that kind of encourages me to at least keep checking out Leighton for the time being, and maybe I'll get lucky enough to have a great one spawn fairly quickly. But you know, who knows at this point. At this point, I'm just trying all the different things I can to try and possibly get one of these absolutely incredible looking moose to spawn. So, yeah, if I do end up getting a great one on a different map and, you know, it's only a few hundred kills in, you now know why. It's not like I just haven't been talking about it. I really wanted to put that into a video so that you are all aware that I'm sort of chopping and changing between maps, so that if I do get one, you know about it, and if it's on Leighton or Yukon or somewhere where I've only done a few hundred kills, I have actually been grinding on those maps as well. Or, well, I've been grinding on Leighton at the moment, but if I went over to Yukon, then you'd know I'd been grinding on it because I've talked about it, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's going to be in this video. Kind of a shorter one, just a little bit of an update. But yeah, still trying my best to try and get this great one moose. It is taking so long, unfortunately, and I do apologise for the lack of other content and the lack of frequency. I know that I'm not uploading quite so much at the moment, whilst I am just solidly working away at trying to get this great one, and I do apologise for that. But hopefully, eventually, this awesome looking great one will spawn, and, you know, whatever it is, I don't mind if it's a common, I don't care what rack it has, whatever combo it could have of fur and rack, whatever it ends up being, I will be so ecstatic. They all look incredible, even like I said, even the commons with the Great One racks look amazing to me, so whatever I hopefully end up getting eventually, I'd be super happy with. So just fingers crossed that one does actually spawn, because of course there is always the chance that one never spawns for me, and that would be really unfortunate, but I've just got to keep working away at it, and fingers crossed that one of these awesome looking creatures will eventually show up for me. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much for watching, and again a huge thank you for all the support. It really does help on the days where I'm slowly grinding away through hundreds of moose. Reading your supportive comments is always a really big help, and it's always really lovely for me. So just a huge thank you once again to everyone who's been supporting me. It really does mean a whole lot. But that is going to be it, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.